So, what do we know about creativity? Watch a child drawing a picture. Ask an artist. Why do scientists really do what they do? If we're going to try and teach this thing called creativity, we should really know what it is, shouldn't we? Well, David Bohm opened his book on creativity with these words. Creativity is, in my view, something that is impossible to define in words. Great, thanks. Okay, we know it is tricky to put in a box, but that shouldn't stop us from trying. Okay, I'm going to talk now about a few key ideas about creativity that have been put forward in research journals and books over the last 20 years. The majority of this information is accessible from an article by Jose Gomez in the Journal of Effective Teaching. Firstly, creativity can be broken down. McKinnon named 3 distinct types of creativity. Firstly, artistic, which is primarily concerned with the artist's own personal drives, passion, and expression. Secondly, scientific or technological, which involves solving difficult problems in our environment, but doesn't reflect the personality of the inventor or creator. And thirdly, hybrid creativity, which is a combination of the two. For example, in architecture, which creatively finds solutions for the environment while also exhibiting personal artistic expression. So, you're either the creative type or you're not, right? Well, most researchers in this field agree that everybody has a potential for creativity. We in fact need it to survive. Canatella argues that the need for creativity is biological. It's an essential part of human nature, and it's necessary for social interaction, reproduction, growth, and cultural striving. And what about those who appear to be naturally gifted, the artistic geniuses? Well, Samuel's study reminds us the great myth that creativity comes naturally to those who are gifted, and their creative works just flow out of them like water. However, the study shows that creative output only comes after considerable time and effort. Unfortunately, there are no free rides for the gifted among us. The creative process in the brain is sudden and unpredictable, and short-lived, like a climax. It can come, according to Parnes and Harding, after months, years, or a lifetime of searching and accumulating information. Creativity won't answer direct questioning. It rarely follows intensive reflection. Answers often appear much later when least expected, or at wildly inappropriate times. For teachers in creativity, this is important to know. Reed and Petosh claimed that students should be supported while discovering their project and then given enough freedom and time to explore these problems and to create work in the most interesting and innovative way that they can. Teachers must also respect that creativity takes an unpredictable amount of time for every individual. This can of course be very demanding in the current schooling system. Reed and Petosh also talked about how teaching creativity is about seeing the essence as well as the detail of a subject. So a learning environment should help students see connections between the big picture and the finer details. A creative learning environment should also have the potential to expose strange connections between completely different ideas that don't necessarily share any common context. Creativity should not be afraid to question and challenge the norms. Some of the most creative achievements seemed ridiculous when first introduced. When Charles Newbold discovered the cast iron plough, other farmers rejected it on the grounds that iron polluted the soil and encouraged weeds. When Dr. Horace Wells used gas on patients while pulling teeth for the first time, the medical profession scorned his new ideas as rubbish. At one time, for example, the common tomato was considered poisonous. And who would have thought that anonymously painting your art on a street corner would ever bring you success? Torrance succinctly puts this as the focus on the potential rather than the norms. The potential rather than the norm. Perhaps the greatest deterrent to creativity stems from this. Ideas tend to pop up at any moment, often catching a teacher by surprise and often going against the teacher's flow. Laforci and Richter suggest that this often appears to instructors as a student's bad behavior or criticism of their teaching method. Such suggestions reflect an individual's brainstorming an idea. Such brainstorming could in fact be encouraged by letting the individuals develop their own plan for putting an idea to work. But, as Lancaster puts it, rather than present facts or theory, instructors should place the students in situations where they are forced to seek out the information for themselves. we actually do know a whole lot about creativity. And as educators of creativity, we owe it to our students to know what we're teaching.